Welcome to the KO Boxing Show. Haven't we got a big show tonight? None other than the World Boxing Council President, Mr. Mauricio Sulaiman, all the way from Mexico. Thank you for your time, my friend.
Thank you, Peter. I'm so excited to say hello to you and all my friends from the land down on there.
Now, we love the WBC because obviously the WBC, it's been around since 1963. It's a non-profit organization. It's got the anti-doping, VADA and testing. And it's also the respect of the WBC, as we know, it's got 161 countries that are members of every flag around the belt. So it's a terrific belt. We all see it with all our world champions. And I think Sonny Liston was the first heavyweight world champion with the WBC.
Absolutely. He knocked out Floyd Patterson to win the heavyweight champion of the WBC, and then went on to lose it to Muhammad Ali. And then the torch carries on until today's Tyson Fury, the great representative of the WBC in the heavyweights.
Mauricio, your father, Jose, the late great, we know he passed away in January 2014, and we always think of him because he wasn't only ambassador for boxing, he's been inducted into National Boxing Hall of Fame, but he was just an ambassador for people, and he'd bring people together. He was such a beautiful person, and I know it's a massive loss for you. I know it's hard to talk about, but we always have got these memories of your great father and the great things he's done. What was it like as a child for you growing up, being around such a father like that? Every day must have been like Christmas.
He was a great childhood, a great life that my father and that my mother gave us. We're 6 siblings, 14 grandchildren, and everything revolved around love, around family. We had to meet Saturday and Sunday for lunch all together, whoever was present. I grew up in a home where I would come back from school and they would see Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Larry Holmes, Duran, or amateur boxers, very humble people trying to get to that place, promoters. Our home was a hub for the boxing world because my father believed in that, opening his heart, opening his life to his friends, to his boxing members of this great family.
And the WBC conventions, they're great. And I remember the great days of Frank Quill, who's down here from down under. He passed away as well. But it's such a family, well-organized organization. Let
me tell you about Frank Quill.
Okay.
So we can understand what the WBC family is. Perfectly what you're saying. Frank Quill passed away. It was a very sad day for the WBC, for boxing in general. Months later, we receive a phone call and a series of communications. The fact is that Frank Quill left his state to the WBC. The money that he had saved, he left it to the WBC so we could do a good for others. That's the kind of family that we have in our organization.
That is family. Wow, it's amazing. Let's go over the safety issues as well, because look, we all love boxing, the gladiators out there, but you know, it's such a high intensity impact sport that we need to protect some of these fighters. In the old days, there was a 15 rounds, and I know after the Korean boxer Kim Duk-koo died with his fight with Ray Boom Boom Mancini, it was in 1983, got petition that 15 round fights for world title fights will be changed to 12. And that's been a great change as well. And also, we've got to go into the thumb-tied gloves that the WBC brought in, because there was a lot of thumb injuries into the eye and detached retina and you know, just harmful eye injuries. The WBC made sure of that. So everything's been so safety and so professional and, you know, making the sport the great sport it is. Now we've got a battle at the moment as well, Mauricio, with COVID-19, because even in your country, you've had 120,000 cases, 14,000 deaths. It's real. And in America, it's done so much damage. How can we come back as a boxing nation now with this virus that looms? How are we going to do it in a safe and correct manner?
I believe we have to adapt, we have to adjust, we have to implement measures. The WBC worked very hard to produce a protocol, administrative and medical protocol for boxing, for the return of the sport without public in the arenas. It goes from the initial stage of doing a questionnaire for any participant, age, medical condition, if he knows anyone with COVID, has he been in presence with anyone with COVID, etc., etc. Then you do testing, then you do isolation. So boxing is returning. Today, Las Vegas starts a series of fights with Top Rank, Tuesday and Thursday for 1 month. Mexico City is ready to open some fights at the TV studios. England is ready to start in July. But the whole world is going to change. The way we do activities has to change. We have to adapt. Hopefully, we'll have a vaccine in the near future, and then we can start going back to the normal way of doing things. But at this time, we have to adapt and have to get active. We need our sport to get active and to give fans something to look for the weekend.
Senor Mauricio, during the break of this COVID, where you had a chance maybe in your whole life to be away from boxing, we all did, we all had a break. What do you do in your break? What do you like to do? What are some of the other hobbies that you do away from boxing that really you enjoy?
Well, my passion is music. I play the drums.
Oh, you're a drummer. Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
That's
I can see the set. Yeah.
That's my drum set. Ever since this thing started, we got an early start. The WBC immediately picked up. We said, this is serious, this is real, this is not a punishment, it's a reality. We sent everyone home to do home office, and we implemented the WBC Talks, which is a daily video conference in Spanish and then in English. We have had Mike Tyson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Chavez, Laila Lee, so many guests in this program to keep boxing communicated, to keep the boxing world communicated and entertained. We started the WBC workout program, which is stay home but stay active. We have done some awareness, social responsibility awareness videos against domestic violence. We've been active in this horrible wave of violence through the discrimination problems that happened. We've been active in that, and personally, I've done homework with my kids. I have to cook, clean, and just stay safe. The family integration is so important. I am very lucky to have my wife and 3 beautiful kids. It's been a difficult moments, crying, because my son graduated from high school from the United States with honors, and he could not receive that moment of glory. It had to be done by a computer. My daughter is in the age of just enjoying life. So it's a difficult moment, but we have to be thankful to God. So many people are suffering greater issues other than just the isolation, but we are very busy, we are very hopeful, and things will get back, and boxing is going to be a leader as always in this coming back of life.
Let's go into boxing. Mike Tyson's mentioned, you mentioned Mike Tyson, he's mentioned he might come back into the game, maybe exhibitions, but if he comes back and fully registers and gets licensed and has a tune-up bout, you've said that you've got no hesitation in putting him in the world ratings.
This is a very interesting topic. Mike Tyson, the youngest ever to win the heavyweight title, is an icon, a legend for the sport. He came and went down in a difficult time. So boxing saved him again. Now look at him. He's looking fit. He's looking great, feeling good. So we have to support such an action because boxing is great. Mike Tyson wants to do an exhibition for charity. How can you oppose that? We're 100% in his support, and let's dream. Why hold back? Let's dream. Maybe he does 2-3 exhibitions. Maybe he does a 4-rounder and comes back to boxing. Why hold back and be negative? Mike Tyson is 53 years old. He knows that. He knows the limitations. Everybody knows that. Right now, I'm dreaming of him doing an exhibition, making money for the needed, and making his life turn around through boxing.
The whole world's dreaming, Senor Mauricio. We all want him back. But let's get back to Tyson Fury. He's your current WBC World Heavyweight Champion. And wow, what a character. When he sang Bye-Bye American Pie after defeating Wilder, even Bob Arum was singing. That was something different for a man to sing like that. He just brought the crowd as one, didn't he? What a character.
What a character. I'm very proud of Tyson Fury. In fact, we have awarded him and his wife, Paris, the Heroes for Humanity Award for what he has done. He has been motivating his peers and the public in general every single day, doing free workouts on social media, motivating people to stay positive, to stay safe, to look forward to the life that is coming back. He's a great character, a great person. I'm very proud of having him as the WBC heavyweight champion.
Great. Who are some of the stars of boxing, Senor Mauricio, that you think is coming all the way through that are going to be the next generation of superstars pay-per-view?
Well, of course, we have Canelo, we have Tyson Fury, we have Lomachenko. You have the Charlo brothers.
Errol Spence?
Errol Spence, what a sensational champion and fighter. You have talent all across the board, from Menayotin from Thailand, who is undefeated, 52-0, to Tyson Fury, who's undefeated in the heavyweight. You have great talent upcoming like Ryan Garcia, Devon Haney, Teofimo Lopez, tremendous fights to look for. And also women boxing. The quality and quantity of women fighters is unbelievable. And I'm very excited for the sport.
Jeff Fenech is our favourite fighter here in Australia. And I know you love Jeff. We all love Jeff. How much of a spirit is Jeff Fenech for the WBC?
He represents the WBC. He is the best. A man who has overcome adversity constantly. He had a heart attack last year and comes back strong. And look at him right now with Susie and the girls. I love Jeff Fenech. He's a member of the WBC board representing the champions. And I'm just very proud to see how he handles and how he's always outspoken, direct, positive. He wants nothing but the justice, and he's just a tremendous human being. I love Jeff Fenech.
He's a great man. Mauricio, getting back to some history, who are your favourite all-time fighters that you met as a kid growing up that really took your imagination?
When I was a kid, 3 years old, my hero was Mantequilla Nápoles. That was maybe the first fighter I saw, so I just got crazy. He retired in 75, so then Carlos Zarate took the place of being my hero until Sugar Ray Leonard arrived on the scene. Sugar Ray was my kid's, as a kid, my inspiration, my hero, and he has always been my favorite.
You mentioned Carlos Zarate. He fought a good friend of ours, Paul Ferrari, the late great Paul Ferrari, in 1976 at the Forum, and it was a great fight. It got stopped on cuts in a 12th round. Richard Steele stopped it. It was a terrific fight, and Paul from Australia really represented Australia well. And the Australian fighters from Lionel Rose, Johnny Famechon, Jeff Harding, you know when you get a shot with an Australian title or, you know, an Australian fighter that's been through the ranks is going to give you 100%.
Australian boxing is of great value. And I am sure that Australia is going to have a bright future in the sport. Jeff Harding, let me tell you about him. What a heart. A dear friend of mine, Jamie Famijon, Lionel Rose. Jesus, what a great history. So I think Australian boxing is something that has to be a priority. We have been working to try to get a stronger presence in Australia. We have representatives from the Asian Boxing Council, from the Oriental Pacific, Patrick Cusick,
yes.
working hard, Kevin Noon,
Yep.
General Covid, Bakdihumi. So we have plans. We want to create activity of interest in the region, work with the National Boxing Federation, and just bring back some tournaments and activity. Because, boy, when you have an Australian in the ring, you are sure there for a ride. And Australian deserve a good boxing, solid program, and we will work on that.
Gracias, amigo. Because I know you're a very busy man, and we really appreciate you've done this Zoom interview, Senor Mauricio. Before we sign you off, I want your favorite boxing story. You're going to have so many stories, but which one sticks in your mind? What's the best story that made you the happiest?
Well, I'm going to tell you one, which is mind-blowing. That's my beginning of boxing, my first memory of boxing. I was home. I was 3 years old, I guess, and I heard a loud noise. I never heard something like that before. So I come running down the stairs to see what happened. And I find my father in the living room, standing with two huge men. And eventually I found out that was Muhammad Ali and Don King.
Wow.
And the noise that I heard was Don King's laughter. Ha, 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 ha. That's my first memory of boxing. But I have so many funny stories, sad stories, that it's just a great sport because it is the world come together. When that bell rings, there's no colors, there's no religion, there's no power, but two men trying to demonstrate who is better.
No, thank you, Mauricio. And I hope your drumming gets really good. You've had a lot of time to practice. Have you ever played in a band, or have you played some music? Do you write music, or you just like to get on the drums for fun?
Just for fun. I have never taken a class. I just put on my headphones and listen to Pink Floyd, AC/DC, and play a little bit. I have played with friends. We did a couple of songs, but nothing serious, because it's time that takes time. So once in a while I get on the drums and blow some steam.
Wow, but the bands you mentioned, Pink Floyd, AC/DC, are they your two favorite bands? What's your favorite band of all time?
I would say Pink Floyd and then AC/DC, and I love the Screaming Jets.
Oh, the Screaming Jets, yeah.
Oh, Jeff Harding introduced me to the Screaming Jets. He sent me some CDs, and I just follow. I don't know if they are still around or not, but they're a good Australian, good band, solid rock.
Senor Mauricio, we need to invite you to Australia. Two things you got to remember: Vegemite, because it's that black jar that comes. You stay away from that. I'm not saying you stay away from that. It's really potent. It's really got a big kick to it. But you need to listen to Cold Chisel if you ever get on.
Oh, I have Cold Chisel. I love Cold Chisel also. Yes.
Jimmy Barnes. Yeah, that is pure Australian music.
Okay. Thank you. I'm gonna dedicate today to Australia and music and get on with it.
Gracias, amigo. We appreciate it, and you're one of the ambassadors of world boxing, and it's sensational to have you on the show. Gracias.
Peter, thank you so much. God bless, and we'll get back. Stay positive.
Stay safe, my friend.
Thank you.